Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. And today we're working on the BMW 130i. Now it is extremely hot, so I don't want to be in this car any longer than I have to. I don't know if you can tell that I'm sweating. It must be the hottest day of the year today. But yeah, we're doing a brake fluid flush. Going off the service history when I bought the car, I don't think it's actually been replaced in like 13 years, since 2007, which is absolutely ridiculous. And kind of going off the brake pedal feel, that would kind of suggest that was the case as well, because I have to push it right down to the bottom to get any kind of brake in. So I'm sure there's a lot of air in the system. Now I have actually inspected the fluid in the reservoir myself, and it is absolutely ridiculous. Like, it's a brownie color, and brake fluid is kind of, it's a little bit yellow, but it's more on the clear side. So yeah, this brake fluid desperately needs out today. I need to try and get as much air out of the system as possible, and should be so much better when I do so. So yeah, let's get outside. I'm gonna ramble on too much. I need to get out of this heat. Let's get outside, let's get the car up in the air, and yeah, I guess take the wheels off. Okay then, so we have the car up in the air and we have the wheels off. Now let me actually show you the brake fluid reservoir first and foremost. So just gotta lift this trim off. Now, you know, level is fine. You know, it's just below the max. But when you take a look inside, so we will remove the cap. Like, I don't know how well you can see that, but that is brown in there. That is disgusting. Okay then, so I think before I go ahead and bleed the brake fluid from the calipers themselves, what I'm going to do is remove as much fluid from the reservoir as possible. Just to save, you know, putting all that dirty fluid through the system. It'll just take longer if I was to do so. So what I'm going to do is remove the cap. I have a turkey baster. Just going to go ahead and try and suck up as much fluid as possible. I'll dump it in my container here. Oh, that looks nasty. Just obviously be careful not to drip this on your paintwork, and if you do, get it off immediately, because this will just destroy your paint. Okay, so now that I have drained the brake fluid reservoir down to the minimum mark, I'm actually going to put some fresh fluid in now. Now this is .4. Now eventually I'm going to be putting .5.1 in, but I just thought I would put this, you know, there's a little bit left in this bottle. I thought I would use this up, flush that through, and then obviously I'll be left with the good stuff, the 5.1 at the end. Let's try not to spill this. So there we go then, that is the brake fluid reservoir topped up to the max mark with the new fluid. I'm going to go ahead and put the cap back in. And now we can start bleeding the calipers. Okay then, so when it comes to bleeding the brake fluid from the calipers themselves, you actually want to start on the caliper furthest away from the master cylinder, or the brake fluid reservoir, which is just above the master cylinder. And in our case, because this is located on the front off side, we actually want to start on the rear near side. So that is the caliper at the back on this side here. Because this is the furthest away, the fluid has got to travel the most distance. This is where we are going to start. Okay then, so this is the setup that we have going on. So we have our DIY brake fluid bleeder. It's basically just an old bottle with a hole in the top with a hose coming out of it, and that fits nicely on to the bleeder valve. And then we have a 9mm spanner on the nut to crack it loose, and then I have someone in the car who is going to push down the pedal when I say. Obviously I'll crack it loose, I'll hold the pedal down, then I'll tighten it up, and then obviously they can lift up the pedal and then just keep repeating. And what we're going to do is drive all of the air out of the system on this caliper, and then obviously we'll go ahead and do the rest. Down, up, down, okay, up, down, that's it, you can go up now. Okay then, so that is this side done. I couldn't see any more air coming out of here, so what I'm going to do is head over to the other side, which is the next furthest away from the master cylinder. So I'm just going to get this hooked up and then do the exact same. Okay, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay then, so that is the other rear caliper bled. I couldn't see any more air coming out. Now it's time to do the front two, but before I go ahead and do that, I'm actually going to top up the reservoir to the max line again. Obviously we've drained a lot of fluid out, so I'm going to top that up with the DOT 5.1 now. Okay then, so now we are on the near side front caliper, obviously the next furthest away from the master cylinder, and obviously only one more left after this. So let's get this one bled and then see where we're at. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay then, so now we are on the final caliper, and this is the one just below the brake master cylinder. So all I'm going to do now is crack this one loose and do the same process again. So down, that one was tight, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And with the fourth and final caliper bled, we can now just top up the brake fluid reservoir to just below the maximum, because that's what it was at before we started to drain it. So we will continue filling with the DOT 5.1. And now what we'll do is reinstall this trim piece. Clips on like that, he says. It should clip on. It doesn't seem. There we go. Nice and easy. Job's a good one. So now all we've got to do is put the wheels back on and take for a test drive. Okay then, so I've just been on a nice little test drive, and yeah, I really did push the car quite hard, to be honest. That was good fun. Yeah, the brakes feel, I don't want to say they feel transformed, because obviously there's still a lot of work that we need to do to them. You know, I want to completely overhaul them. I want to change the discs, the pads, and the brake hoses themselves. But it definitely feels much better now. Like I have like braking more, you know, more towards the top of the pedal, as you know, whereas before I literally had to push the pedal all the way down to the bottom to, you know, just to get anything at all. But yeah, you know, the brakes aren't perfect, but they are a lot better than what they were. So yeah, I'm glad I'd done the brake fluid flush. I really had to get it done today, because yeah, to be honest, it was you know, borderline dangerous driving, you know, how it was before. So yeah, I'm just glad that it's done now. It means I can enjoy the car a little bit more. Yeah, that is another thing done for the BMW 130i. Obviously, you know, loads more little jobs that need doing still, before we even get on to like the bigger and better modifications. You know, a lot of little jobs that need sorting before we, you know, start to maybe push more power, or, you know, move on to some big handling mods. But yeah, I hope this video has been somewhat helpful. I know it's you know, it's not really a complex job to do a brake fluid flush, but hopefully this video has been some help to some of you out there. I hope you have enjoyed it. Please give it a like if you have, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you have not already done so, and I will see you all in that next video. Peace.